So we're in the new year blues, hoping for some big game week from game week 22 with all the doubles and of course postponement after postponement, and it's not looking too good for us. But before we see exactly how bad it is, a quick word from sponsors of this video, SPITCH. SPITCH is the ultimate fantasy football manager game that's just hit the market. This game is available for those of you in the UK and Ireland, for everyone over 18 years of age. It's a fantasy football manager app that lets you build your team, collect points and battle it out against other managers. Play for free, compete against your friends in communities and have a chance to win a share of up to £70,000 on a weekly basis. That's right, there are weekly competitions, not just season ones, so every game week matters all season long. Various competitions are available on different pitches, and once again there are free games to play. Click on the top link in the description and download the app for free, and let's get back to the video. So guys, if you're fed up of trying to plan for a whole season, how about you just play game week by game week with SPITCH, top link in the description down below, and let's have a look at how my side's done so far in game week 22. So as you can see on the screen, we did have some big performances from big at the back, which is good for us because we needed the points from wherever we could get it from, as Trent Alexander-Arnold and João Cancelo both come in with double-digit hauls, which is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately for me, everyone around me in my rank probably owns these two already. So outside of them, we did have good points from Bowen. Again, a very highly owned player around my rank, I believe, because of the double game week in game week 21 for West Ham. He did, of course, get a goal in the game with Leeds, which West Ham did unfortunately lose. And Antonio did get an assist. And that is pretty much it for good returns from my players. We have Dubravka in goal, who did manage to get 3 points. We have Jota, who also added 3 points to the board. Dennis got 2 points. He was meant to have a double game week. That could have been more, and he has my captaincy armband, which is absolutely fantastic. And Mason Mount came in for the injured Son, and he didn't even start in their first game. He does have Brighton Hove Albion still to play though. Davies, of course, another player that would have had a double game week and another postponement. So that is less games, but he still has that game against Leicester. And then we have Tierney and Loughton. Loughton, again, another double game week player. And it looks like he's not even going to have a single game this game week. And Tierney, of course, was subject to that postponement of the Arsenal-Spurs game. So from what looked like a very good team going into double game weeks, we've only got 40 points with plenty of no-shows. We still have Salah on the bench as well. I'm thinking potentially we just keep him now until he returns. And the average was 32 points for the game week. We have dropped from around the 21,000 mark to 27,486. To be honest, like I said in previous videos, I'm just hoping to hang on until we get some sort of normality back with less postponements. So let's try and be a little bit more positive and look towards game week 23. I say be more positive, but as we get into this side, you're going to see the kind of mess that I am in. We have Ramsdale in goal currently with Burnley at home. He's joined by Tierney with Burnley at home, and of course Loughton with Arsenal away. They're all in the same fixture. Of course, Arsenal are a team that postponed their last game. So are Burnley, who have postponed their last 2. So fantastic start there. We do have Trent and Cancelo. Hopefully we can continue to get points from them because we do need them. Davies hopefully still has his game against Chelsea. As far as we're aware, they should play their game against Leicester as it stands in the game week 22 fixtures. So hopefully Spurs still play in game week 23. We have Mason Mount with Tottenham. So again, 2 players in the same fixture. And we have Bowen and Antonio against Man United away. Now, the form West Ham are in, potentially they can score against anyone. Defensively, they haven't looked too great. Usually I'd look at Man United as a bit of a tough fixture, but it looks like they're there for the taking, so hopefully West Ham try to bounce back from their game against Leeds, which was slightly disappointing. We have Jota with Crystal Palace away. Disappointing he did nothing against Brentford. He could still potentially be a captaincy armband shout here because there's not many standout options. And then we do have Dennis, who went from being a very promising player for me, especially when he didn't go to the African Cup of Nations, to now being a slight bit of a headache. He has Norwich at home, so that should be a game where Watford should be able to score goals. Doubt I'm going to captain him again just because of the disappointment of last week. But hopefully Dennis can get some decent returns, and we definitely need him to play because if we look at our bench, we have absolutely no one. We have Dubravka, just in case Ramsdale doesn't play. But other than that, we have Salah, we have Smith-Rowe, who is an injury concern, we have Gelhardt. Salah can't play African Cup of Nations, and the other two are injury concerns. So potentially, if we are going to keep Salah, Smith-Rowe would be the player that we look to transfer out and bring in a midfielder. Now, the value we have in Smith-Rowe is 5.8 million, and we do have 4.5 million in the bank, so the majority of midfielders in the game are accessible to us. With the only ones not accessible are De Bruyne, Fernandes and Sterling. Now, to be honest, we're not really looking at the likes of Rashford in the 9 million bracket and Sancho, so it'd be players from there down. Now, Man City, of course, have been on absolute fire. With the African Cup of Nations, we know Mahrez isn't available and Ferran Torres isn't going to be in contention. So we could take a risk on the midfield of Man City. We could wait and see if there's double game weeks around the corner. However, who knows if they actually go ahead or not anymore. But what I did instead is I had a look at the last 6 game weeks at players that I might be interested in to replace Smith-Rowe. Saka being one of them as a straight swap for another Arsenal player, although I already have 2 Arsenal, so a little bit worried about tripling up on Arsenal still for a prolonged period of time. And we've had a look at the season-long stats as well. So if you want to be able to look at stats similar to what I'm about to talk about, do go and check out Fantasy Football Hub, where you can get access to all of this data. You can change the parameters and set it to exactly what you want to find. And we see that De Bruyne over the last 6 game weeks has 47 points from 4 goals and 1 assist. No big chances and 4 goals, showing De Bruyne in some great form right now. And we know he's very capable of this, but slightly out of our price bracket. We've got Bowen, who got 45 points in the last 6 game weeks. And then it is Mahrez with 44, but again, African Cup of Nations, so we're not concerned about him. Then looking at Ward-Prowse, 6.3 million. He's managed to get 4 goals and 2 assists in the last 6 game weeks, getting 37 points. Unfortunately, though, they do have Man City and Tottenham in the next 2, so that really does make Ward-Prowse not that viable an option. We do have Saka, of course, as well, 6.4 million. He does have a slight injury concern on him, but he has managed 4 goals and 1 assist, getting 35 points. And there's Harrison, great game against West Ham, but we're probably not going to go there just because of 1 good performance. Arsenal do have Burnley and Wolves in the next 2, a blank in game week 25 and 27 potentially, so he would be a short-term transfer, and those blanks mean that potentially we don't want to bring in another Arsenal player. So we then look at season-long stats, and what's surprising to me is it was a long way down before you actually got a striker as far as points scored. We of course got Salah at the top with 177 points, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, and Bowen being the 4th highest scoring player in the league so far. Son with the injury at 107, but then it's Bernardo Silva. He has dropped off recently, but could there be a return to that form? He has managed this season 7 goals and 4 assists for 106 points in total. We then of course have Jota as well, but then at 6.1 million, around the same price as Smith-Rowe, is Conor Gallagher. He has managed 7 goals and 5 assists for a total amount of points of 98. Now that is a great amount of points and could be a nice easy swap for Smith-Rowe. That would still leave us lots of money to potentially bring back Son in the future when he comes back from his injury. And Crystal Palace, while their fixtures aren't great, Liverpool next of course, they do have Norwich and Brentford in 24 and 25. Then after a Chelsea game in 26, they do have Burnley and Wolves to play. So I actually quite like the idea of bringing in Conor Gallagher. Mount is up there, getting 96 points so far this season. And we do also have Saka, who's managed 93 points. So potentially Conor Gallagher is the way that we might go, even though it is a fixture against Liverpool where Crystal Palace won't be the favourites. But if he is going to be a bench option, then as long as I think Crystal Palace are going to play, it's a move I can make now and then think about other moves moving forward from game week 24. So guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have and you want to help me out, new year, new you, hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button as well. And also in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts over the postponements in general and how they've affected your season and your plans for game week 23. Also check out SPITCH, top link in the description down below. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring this video. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.